Hey guys, it's Brennan the Paleo Dude, and welcome back to another unboxing and review video. Today we'll be taking a look at the Jurassic World Legacy Collection Wave 3 figures from the Dominion release. These came out a year ago and were quite hard to find. It seems now they're starting to pop up more often, which is strange since it's been a year, but nonetheless, I got these guys on sale. It was buy one, get one half off, and I was able to price match to the Target website while at the store and get an additional $3 off. I think they're around $13 on shelves and $10 on the website. So pretty big score. I've been looking for these guys for a while. I was kind of fearing that I would have to buy them online. There's a lot of eBay sellers. They're about $30 each, or for a lot about $150. Well, back before they started hitting shelves like crazy. So I'm glad I refrained and held off on getting them because these were so cheap, hence why I got a lot of them. I'm really digging this lineup's style, being the original dinosaurs from the first two movies. The Raptor seems to be inspired off the Tiger Raptor from the Lost World, and then obviously the Dilophosaurus and the Gallimimus from the first movie. Now, this is a lot darker of an orange than we've seen before in previous Raptors. The Camp Cretaceous Raptors wore this kind of, obviously in contrast, lighter orange, but this is more of a reddish hue. They didn't paint the tail either, which is not that big of a deal, but it definitely would have looked a lot better with that. And one of my pet peeves with the Dilophosaurus is those bright orange frills. They could have just easily made them green and had this print over top like they did with the original Dilophosaurus, which looks completely fine. But nonetheless, this is an awesome figure. Love the color. Definitely 100% more accurate besides the frill, based on just the tones of the color. And the Gallimimus is quite interesting too. It sports this more greeny pattern, which is quite a stark contrast to the original Gallimimus colorations. But I do like that green eyeball and the way that the kind of purpley brown color highlights it. It also has this kind of splotchy, creamy green on the belly and the neck, which give it a nice counter shading. And hey, look, paint on the tail. That's great. It has the headbutt feature, which we've seen in the Camp Cretaceous Gallimimus, but I'm not complaining. I like that. It would have been cool if they brought back the run feature, but the little headbutt one's just as good. So we'll start with the Tiger Raptor. Oop, I just took an endo. Move my camera a bit forward and down so we can get this focused. There we go. So we'll just pop it out of package. I love that the packaging still features a kind of legacy collection aesthetic that the originals used to have. Foot's still stuck in there, whoops. With that sunset and the gates in the background. And then the back of the packaging, of course, has that as well. That dark purple band with the trees, the front gates, and then the action feature. Other figures in the lineup. You can see on the back of the packaging, the Dilophosaurus has green frills, and it looks fantastic. Yeah, there we go. See, it looks completely fine. The printing is over top of the green as well, and it looks way more natural. It even seems like the underbelly's painted, which I'm pretty sure, oh yeah, the figure does have a little bit of painting on there, but this early render image looks fantastic, absolutely perfect. Oh, not sure why they went with that orange, but whatever. So this figure, of course, is a retool of the Scratching Raptor, which I think we saw first debut in the 2019 Dino Rivals lineup with the blue figure, and ever since they've used it. Camp Cretaceous had it in a few of the Raptor Squad members, and then the first Lost World usage was this guy, the light orange version, and this one's fantastic. You can see there's paint halfway down the tail. It's got those tiger stripe lines and even paint around the eyes. The latest figure has more of a greeny eye in comparison, and it does still have that painted facial feature around the eye, which is nice, but the back of the head does not have any paint. You see it abruptly stop, which is kind of apparent at first glance. It stands out a bit, but I can easily look past it as the tail is also not painted. They seem to remedy that by having the paint end before this additional tail begins, so the entirety of the tail is just unpainted. And instead of these stripes down the back, they give it a solid kind of paint job with some kind of blotchy stripes bleeding down from it. The underbelly is painted, the bottom of the neck is painted, similar to this figure, but this one goes all the way down to the base of the tail, where this one stops kind of before the legs. So, of course, this is obviously a more lazy paint job because of the tail, the underbelly, and the top of the head, but it still looks fantastic without those additional paint details. I'd just say the Camp Cretaceous one is superior to it because of those additional paint details that fully round out the figure. And of course, it looks more like the Tiger Raptor with the stripes and the color, whereas this one's more of a reddish color. It's not fully red if we compare it to the Dominion Raptor that came out and the 2018 Kohl's exclusive Raptor that came out. It is still orange, so that is why I'm saying it's the Lost World Tiger Raptor, but it's just a lot darker than we usually see and a lot more red. So we'll move on to the Gallimimus. This one's cool. You can see the back of the box. It has that little headbutt feature. You can use it, I guess, for eating plants or maybe drinking water or something, but I don't see how a headbutt with a head that small, weak, scrawny neck would do that much damage to anything, but nonetheless, I think it's more of a running dinosaur than an attacking one. They have an extra, I've noticed, I think all of them have it, an extra leg band. There's two bands holding the body in at each one, and then this one single additional band holding one of the legs in. Haven't seen that in previous figures, so it must have started doing that just with this lineup. So yeah, no, the button on the back, you can see it's pretty blatant. You press it and it does that little head attack. Yeah, so it's not that effective, I'd say, against other dinosaurs in terms of like a realistic attack for the figure, but you can have it pecking at bushes, or maybe it's, like I said, drinking out of like a water hole, which you can do if you bend the figure down like that, which looks great. The coloration is this kind of purpley, like brown, going down from the hips to the top of the head. You can see it's on the sides, and the eye is this bright green. I think that looks fantastic. It goes super well with the color scheme that this dinosaur has, and even the underbelly and the neck are painted this kind of light green, but it only continues again to the hips. There's no paint from here to here, and then on the tail they have splotches on the bottom and the top, which I think really rounds out the figure. It makes it look more balanced. I would have preferred if they put the paint on the raptor tail instead of the galley tail. I think the galley would have looked fine with no paint on the rear end, but I'm glad they did it nonetheless, because Mattel really needs more paint on those tails. And again, it helps the figure look more finished. It's got the basic articulation. The arms can splay out. They're kind of rubbery, of course. And then the legs also have posability, and side-to-side posability. Can kind of go like that. It's great for flock building. If you have a pre-existing galley flock, it can fit in nicely because it's more of an earthy color. It's not too bright, not too apparent. And then compared to the two basic Gallimimus from 2018, it doesn't stand out too badly. It doesn't have the typical stripes that the Gallimimus have, but the coloration, again, is earthy enough that it fits in a lot better than, say, the Camp Cretaceous Gallimimus, which is more of like a dark woodsy green. which again, it's a stark contrast. I like that they are giving us more options in terms of like shades of color now and combinations. It seems like they're always going to go with this kind of browny or greeny color and a mix between the two, but I prefer this one over the Camp Cretaceous one. It's got like a slit pupil. This one's got a dot pupil. And the color on this guy's a lot better because this guy's neck is not painted, and I just don't really like this Christmas dark green. This fits way better with a Gallimimus flock with the pre-existing color patterns, and I think can easily be adapted into it if you have multiples and not just a single individual. So I think that's great. I love it. Very, very good color and pattern choice by Mattel on that guy. So next we got the Dilophosaurus with that weird frill. You can see the box, like always, has this cutaway, so when you flip the frill, it doesn't get stuck on the box. And to flip the frill, you have to pull the tail up. I think it would be nicer if you pull the tail down, but nonetheless, that's how you do it. Even the back of the box here has the Dilophosaurus with green frills. And man, it looks so beautiful. It just, wow, that would have been perfect. If Mattel did not make the decision to swap to an orange frill, this would have been such a great alternative to, say, the Hammond collection figure or the Amber collection figure. But instead, we got this bright orange frill that stands out very much and just doesn't look natural. Even the edges, of course, would have looked nice in green, but we've got backside and front side this bright orange for some reason. But regardless, it's still a pretty neat figure, even though we don't have that beautiful coloration seen on all of the promo images. The orange is fine. The pattern still looks nice on it, and the coloration is very much on par with the movie Dinosaur. And it's got that scan code tag on the back, which kind of pulls up like that. So let's see if this figure... Oh my goodness, look at that. They have him barricaded in with a heavy-duty, what is that, plastic connector. I think that's because only the tail is held in. So now, I'm not sure how we're going to do this. I think I'll loosen it a bit. But I'll have to get in there with the scissors. And I'll try not to hurt the figure by doing this. Very weird choice. There we go. Freed the Dilophosaurus. So, let's see. Yeah, so the coloration is pretty much on par with what Dilophosaurus would be in the movie, except for the frills. The head has that kind of like fat look from the front, and the mouth opens and closes with the frill action, which is really nice. You can kind of see from a front view too. Really fun action feature. The arms are posable. They're kind of like held down like this, and there's a bit of paint on the belly, not the neck or the bottom jaw. And of course the tail is not painted either. We can see it's an upgrade color-wise from the original with this kind of like lighter green coloration, whereas this one's more of a natural green, and then this like bluey green around the eye and frill, which the original did not have, which is movie accurate. Really love that. And of course it has the same mechanism as the albino Dilophosaurus. I think this was from Dino Escape or Camp Cretaceous with that kind of frill mechanism. But you can see it looks a lot nicer with a frill the same color as its body. It looks more natural. There's nothing weird going on with that one. And then compared to the lineup that came before, the first lineup with the Pachycephalosaurus, Cosmoceratops, and Beer Belly Raptor, they pretty much fit in. They look nice with the Pachycephalosaurus. It kind of has a shiny paint coat to it, similar to the Dilophosaurus figure. I think it fits the best with the lineup overall. Cosmoceratops, not really, as it's, I think from Dominion, there was a skeleton or a statue in that movie. I'm sure that's where they got it from for the Legacy collection. But the beer belly raptor stands out. It has more of a matte finish on its body. It's not as shiny, and of course that ugly mold doesn't do it any justice. But the Pachycephalosaurus definitely fits in with this lineup really well, as it's one of the original dinosaurs from the first two movies, and it has that kind of shininess to it that the rest of the figures in the lineup have. Now we'll get the rest out of the package so we can see them all together. We'll start with this Raptor. We'll kind of speed run these guys, but I want to see them all together as a pack. I think that looks pretty neat. And then we'll do the scan code at the end of the video. If you guys don't want to wait, I'll do an additional scan code video separately. Top of the jaw is also painted. Did not expect that. Usually these figures don't have paint at the top of the jaw, so that is quite interesting. Gotta see if they have that with the Dilophosaurus. Oh no, we got that extra bit of plastic again. Let's see. So all, there it is. Kind of slip in there and cut that. Free the foot. Let's see. Ooh, this jaw is busted. Look at that. Let's see. So that's weird. I think the other one actually has that too. Kind of gap there. So let's see. Top jaw is not painted. Interesting. Or is it? I can't tell. Yeah, actually it is. The top jaw in there has this kind of bright, or not bright, dark purple color to it. Same color as the tongue. Okay. Wow, they're really going the extra mile with these guys. So yeah, they're not really a necessary detail. Like I'd rather have, again, the tail painted before I have the top jaw painted. But it's nice, I guess, nonetheless. Kinda neat. I think on the Raptor it looks the best because you can actually see inside the jaw, whereas on the Dilophosaurus it's less apparent. But yeah, no, that's really neat that they got the top jaw painted, and it's a really nice color. It's this kind of like dark-ish purple. Oh, they are looking pretty nice together. Pose them a little bit differently. There we go. There. Oh, cool. Okay, and finally we got the Gallimimus, which will go well with the flock. Now I have like a bajillion Gallimimus. There's so many of them. There's a sale back in the day, 2019, where I got a bunch of the battle damage Gallimimus, and then recently, of course, the Hammond collection ones before they sold out. So there's the Gallimimus. I'll put them right there. And then the Dilophosaurus. So there they are. Hammond collection, or Legacy collection rather, Wave 2 figures from the Dominion era. So glad I got them. Definitely super lucky to get them for sale. I was about to drop some big bucks on them on eBay, so glad I waited. Definitely worth it. If you guys live near a Target, go check it out. You can also order them online. I think the sale is still on, buy one get one half off, and they're only $10, so now's the time to jump on them before they disappear, and definitely worth the wait because these are fantastic additions to the collection, and they fit in well with pre-existing figures from the same lineups like the Legacy collection and whatnot. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to check out my next video. I'll include the scan codes for these guys, so if you don't have the scan codes on the Fax app, you can get them from that video. And yeah, ciao for now.